All right, got Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes here. We'll jump right into questions.
Rick, were you surprised with their shooting tonight?
No, I don't think it was the 3-point shots. I mean, you know, we know that teams are capable at times of shooting the ball, and it was more the one-on-one individual play. You know, when you look at what Raptor did, I mean, I thought he was terrific. I thought him getting to the rim, and you know, they were just picking some matchups that they wanted to play some isolation basketball, and they made some good shots, but they do that. And but defensively, I don't think we obviously did a great job when their two key guys got their average plus and did a really good job moving the ball as well. You look at 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 5 and 2, but we and offensively, you know, we had some shots that you'd like to think that we would make, but we when you get behind, you got to change and do some things that get you a little bit out of kilter. But I'd give them all the credit, and they deserve it. They won the game.
Rick, what were the defensive letdowns in the first half?
Probably more the one-on-one. I mean, you know, we knew again Wade Taylor could make some shots, which he did in the first half, and you know, we had some looks. I mean, we had some looks, but they didn't go down, and but it still got back to one-on-one, and we talked about how hard we're going to work to keep them from us getting too spread out and letting them get downhill with it. And but they, again, they're willful drivers, and they did a good job finishing at the rim.
Is there anything that made it hard on your guards tonight? It seemed like the perimeter was tough to get through at times offensively.
I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Switching the way that Texas A&M switches.
Well, they kept, again, they were going to switch and keep moving around up there who they wanted to get into a matchup. You know, they were obviously, there's no doubt they felt like they wanted to go at Dalton, and but at the end of the shot clock, whoever match they had, they were going to try to drive, and I thought we opened up our hips too much, but it's something that we talked about and didn't execute it the way we needed to, and but we got to be better off. You can't be as, I think we missed what, 3 or 4 2-shot fouls. Those are turnovers, and when you're behind like that, you're trying to get back in the game. You've got to capitalize when you're not having a particularly great night. We had some great looks. I mean, we had some looks that we've been shooting all year, and got to continue to shoot. But you're not making them. I thought Jemai came in the second half and really brought some energy on the glass a little bit, but I think you got to give a lot of credit to Anderson Garcia too. I mean, you know, he's a great offensive rebounder, and again, 17 rebounds, and we didn't do a job there at all. I mean, he kept so many different things going for him.
Rick, do you feel like the struggles tonight were similar to the struggles against South Carolina, considering the similarities in style of play?
No, I don't know that. I'll know more after I've watched the tape a little bit. But again, we got to get more out of our front line. We got to do that, no doubt about it. But when you know, we got ourselves in a hole, and again, they had a lot to do with that. But we just never seemed like we were in sync and playing the way we want to play. And when you look at the guys, and you guys have seen it, we've had games where, you know, Santi struggled 1 for 6. Zakai put too much on him. Again, he went the distance, and I kept asking him, I said, "You need me to give you a blow?" He said, "No, I'm not coming out." We need more guys like that, really. You know, that, I mean, he just wants to win. Whatever it takes, he wants to do it. And but Dalton, you look at his numbers; they look good. But he for a guy that can score like he can, you can't go. What was he from the free throw line? 4 for 9 and missed 2 2-shot fouls.
What's Jonas not giving you right now? Or at
Who?
least Jonas, what's he not doing right now?
We need him to finish those shots. We got to have him in there finishing shots. We need him to do that. We need Tobey to do it. We got to get something from those guys.
You surprised there aren't more guys with Zakai's mindset?
Well, he's one of a kind. I'll tell you, I've done this a long time, and you haven't had a lot of guys like that. I mean, it's just in who he is. It's his DNA, and it's everything about him. And I've said from the beginning, the biggest thing he's done since he's been at Tennessee is his DNA. And he, from the first day he walked on campus, it affected everybody.
How much do you think did Dalton's foul trouble in the second half impacted your team?
I don't know how much it did, because you know what, he still was, they were going at him, and it'll be interesting to see when we break it down from our point of view, you know, we're graded out. how much, he, one-on-one that he gave up, and you've gotta be able to guard your area, but you just can't open up and let people get to the rim, and we did that way too much.
Rick, with A&M has a pretty unique resume to this point. By your eyeball test, does that look like a tournament team?
Well, no doubt, I think we got 10, right now, 10, 11 teams that, when it's all said and done, are NCAA teams. I think we got the best basketball league in the country. I don't think it's close. I don't care what anybody says. Right now, the SEC is the best basketball league in the country, and every league's tough. Every league is tough, but there's, like I said, there's a case for 9 or 10 teams right now, and there's a lot of basketball left to play, so it'll work out. It'll show itself in the end, but there's no doubt right now that that's where my thoughts are with this league. I think it's that good.
Rick, what went wrong at points offensively? Were you trying to get inside and couldn't, or what was?
No, again, I don't know what, and we need to pass the ball, but need to make shots, and we're going to shoot the ball. We think we're a good shooting team, but we got to make some shots. But that's not. You look at, they ended up making 2 more than 3. That's not what the difference in the game was. The difference in the game was we did a poor job at the free throw line, and they could say the same thing, but there's extra possessions. I mean, think about it: 9 offensive rebounds, 9 more that's 9 more possessions, or they score from it. I mean, right there in itself says a lot. I mean, they came up with 14, and we ended up with 12. But when we were trying to get back in it, it's those extra possessions they got that hurt us.
Anything else?
You've seen a lot of games in this gym. How did the atmosphere feel for a late conference battle between 2 teams? 2 good teams.
It was fine. I mean, like I said, I've been here a lot, and I don't think it's overwhelming, if that's what you're asking me, but I don't think there aren't many arenas in the country that I would say are overwhelming. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for A&M and been coming a lot, obviously, but I think someone should teach them about overrated, because I think it takes away from their win, and they're a good basketball team. I mean, when you start chanting overrated, you're diminishing the fact that their team just played a heck of a basketball game and beat a good team. And if we're overrated, what does that say for their team? And but they've been doing that for, how long have I been coming here? 25 years, so maybe you should write it and tell them.
Grant and Ben last 2.
Rick, do you have any concerns with this group with these kind of performances at this point in the season?
No, I mean, it's college basketball. I mean, a long way to go. I mean, I tell everybody, you go back a year ago, the team that won the national championship went through a 5-game skid this time of year and got it going at the right time. And it only hurts you if you don't learn from it and you don't respond from it. If you look at it, can be honest with yourself individually, and we as coaches, we break down what we didn't do a good job with, and and I think we got a program that's transparent with each other. We'll talk about that, but still you look at it, we got it down to 12 and with plenty of time, but couldn't move the needle past that.
Rick, with Jemiah and Dalton, seemed like you were kind of going back and forth, getting them in and out of the game. I guess what were you trying to communicate with them, or what you didn't like to maybe pull them out at
Well,
times?
Dalton had 4 fouls, and at the end, when we were going to start fouling, we wanted him to stay in the game, obviously, and shoot the ball. So when at the end, when we were looking to foul, we didn't do a good job in that situation. We had a chance to foul the person that we wanted to foul twice, and we didn't do it. And that's where, we'll learn from that situation. But every game you go out, you're going to have a chance to learn something. And the question is, after you learn it, will you continue to make that mistake? And I don't think we will, but it gets down to situational play some there at the end. That's why we were moving them in and out.
Thanks, Coach. Love a Tennessee player.